Oh my lord, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I low key, bro. I got messed up today. I'm not gonna lie. I low key got messed up today. My head has not been here. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Did you guys miss me? I know you guys missed me. I've been so like I haven't uploaded in I think like a week or a week and a half. Literally been across the country multiple times, traveling, enjoying life, celebrating my birthday, all of that. But came back to the reality check that the job's not finished. Like we still got work to do. I'm unprofitable, right? I still gotta build my following on social media. My room's low key a mess. If you guys have if you guys peeped that, but that's not the point. The point is I got freaking messed up today in trading. We're gonna talk about it. This was the trade that I took. I got stopped out before price even got into my first take profit. Didn't even hit my second take profit, and then my third take profit, well, as you can see, didn't get hit. Let's talk about my buys today. Like what I saw coming into today, what I even saw coming into like literally anything. So honestly, very very much honestly, I learned daily profiles yesterday. Well, last night. I stayed up on not all night, but I stayed up during some time, and I haven't touched this notebook. Let me see if I can show you guys before we even get to the trade recap. Bro, when I tell you, I haven't touched this notebook in months. Like, everything that is in this notebook is all in here. Everything that I use was from this notebook is literally all in here, whether it's discretionary or part of a model. Everything originated from in here, like this old ass notebook, bro. I promise you, when I make it in trading, I'm gonna keep this notebook forever because this is sauce, bro. Like sauce in a textbook. You see all these PowerPoints on freaking TikTok, not PowerPoints, these videos on TikTok, but my face is bloated. All these videos on TikTok, everyone showing like notes, notes, notes. You don't need that. You just need a journal. You just need to be descriptive. You just need to keep stuff very simple. You just need to be descriptive, bro. Like all of this is all. If I gave this to somebody, they could genuinely learn how to trade. If I gave this to somebody, I just told them to read, literally, and then I give them like a couple videos to watch. You don't even need to watch a whole freaking like boot camp. I mean, yeah, you could, but it's like I'm getting off track. I'm getting off topic here. But the whole point is, I haven't opened this notebook in months. I told one of my homies, I'm like, yo, I actually might consider learning daily profiles. Because daily profiles are basically just a confluence to help you with your daily bias. I get my daily bias a good chunk of the time, like 80 to 90% of the time. And you're probably asking, how do you get that? I literally just use internal versus external liquidity and order flow on the high time frame. I look at the 1 hour and 4 hour. I see what PD arrays do we tap into from Asia to London. What do we manipulate to in London? What are we rejecting off of during London to come into New York? What is the next targeting liquidity towards that? And more times than not, that is my draw on liquidity. And if that draw on liquidity is very very close to what I anticipate it to be and it gets taken, I usually look for a reversal on top to the other previous session's liquidity. So I have multiple ways of finding my daily bias. Obviously, I include SMTs and all that, but I told my homie, I was like, yo, I'm gonna learn daily profiles when I come back. He's like, bet. What did I do? Literally last night, turn on Johnny's video. I'm gonna watch Moore's video today. And I just freaking literally opened up this journal, got my pencil, wrote all the freaking daily profiles that are in the markets. Do I see myself using this for my daily bias from now on? Probably not. Do I see myself using this as a confluence because that's what they are at the end of the day to help me, be even more structured towards my bias and what draws liquidity I'm planning towards? Yes, but it's just like putting a new training wheel on the bike that I'm already letting go of the training wheels. I mean, they say don't fix what's not broken, but I'm not fixing it. I'm really just tweaking it a little bit more. You feel me? But let's get on into it. So coming into today, um, I woke up mad late, so I didn't have time to do any and I mean any of my what do we call it? Any of my contingency plans for the AM session. But however, one thing that I did notice that coming into previous day and into today, we are very, and I mean very, very, very much overextended. We're still in the equilibrium of the range. We still have yet to touch previous day equilibrium. We have yet to touch any equilibrium of this whole daily range, but we are very, very overbought. Not oversold, overbought. So I'm still expecting, a couple sell-offs in the profit into this gap at least because we have just been in this little like area range right here. Don't get me wrong, there's still been price action to take trades off of, but that's really just like what I'm looking at on the higher time frame. On the 4 hour, we're still in this 4 hour gap. We haven't closed out of it. We're still in this 4 hour gap, which is why we were kind of choppy today. Honestly, looking at it on the higher time frame, on the daily, it just looks like we're just retracing. Yesterday, we ended up coming into this gap, so presumably, this is probably the low of the week. We ended up manipulating coming into this. Oh, we didn't even come into a gap. Never mind. I'm tripping. Never mind. Whoa, bro. I need, bro. I need to get back into the game, bro. Holy, I'm so out of it. Anyways, I'm not bad at trading, guys. Trust. I'm not the best, but we're getting there. Anyways, coming in today, my bias for today was honestly bearish. How did I know we were bearish? So last night we ended up. I stayed up for midnight open. So we remove all of this. I stayed up for midnight open. Midnight opened around right here, and within midnight open, we ended up creating a fair value gap. I wanted price to tap into this fair value gap. Hello, hello. Okay. I wanted price to continue to tap into this fair value gap, and I wanted to see a sell-off. I don't have any clips, otherwise I probably would have took a picture. But I was anticipating for price to come into this and literally have a sell-off, potentially even coming back into it and having a sell-off, towards either this imbalance or this huge imbalance. Because remember, higher time frame, we're in a 4 hour imbalance, so I was kind of expecting that to be like one of the plays. We also broke hourly structure, so we are technically still bearish. I don't see anything here that suggests that we're still, in bullish bias yet. Besides the high time frame 4 hour gap, but on the hourly we're bearish. On top of that, now realizing we also made an hourly SMT. Probably saying, "Oh, where's the SMT?" Calm down, Jimmy. Hold on. Let me lock in chat. Okay. Probably thinking, where's the SMT? The SMT was right here. We ended up creating a high. Then we also had a lower high. Booyah. And then we also had a high. And then we also had a higher high. Booyah. So with this in mind, I didn't even see the SMT until my homie told me about it. Besides even seeing the SMT, I was already bearish due to the fact that we are just continuing bearish order flow. We did not break above any significant high at all whatsoever. Like, we are still bearish no matter what you see. The bodies don't really see anything. As long as we don't close above the wick with a nice displacement, we are still bearish, ladies and gentlemen. So I was like, okay, we're bearish. And now looking at it, we also invalidated this gap. I mean, while in bearish consolidating order flow. So I mean, that even adds on to like what I wanted. So we had Asian session lows. We already took out London session lows, but we had Asian session lows right here, and then I honestly wanted my drawn liquidity to be Asian session lows. So coming into market open, if we look at what happened on the 15-minute, like I said previously on a TikTok video, that first presented 15-minute fair value gap during pre-market will honestly good chances than not, more chances than not, will tell you how your bias is going to play out. We didn't have any first presented fair value gaps here. We ended up having this one right here that ended up getting invalidated. So I mean, this wasn't really anything. We also had a breaker block right here because we had a nice clean displacement out of that. We also had a re-enter off that 15-minute breaker, but that was during pre-market. Coming into market open, we ended up having a 5-minute. We ended up making a 5-minute order block, and then from there we ended up having a 5-minute confirmation closure out of that. We ended up having a retrace. In that same retrace, we ended up taking my lows. So with that drawn liquidity being taken, I was like, damn, there's honestly nothing really left for me to like do. Like, the only thing I could really have here is probably seeing a reversal to London session highs and potentially these equal highs. We ended up generating some nice buy stops right here. And with that in my mind, I was like, huh, maybe we might see a reversal from it. Let's see what happens. So coming into that, we ended up creating a 3-minute inversion. So with that in my mind, I was already set on being longs. I was like, okay, we ended up creating a 3-minute inversion. My first draw on liquidity was taken. We have one more draw. Like, we have one more trade that we could take, and that is a rotation to London session highs. And ladies and gentlemen, this is where freaking hell has commenced. So we ended up creating a 3-minute inversion. We ended up breaking structure on the 3-minute. So we're now bullish order flow on the 3-minute. Now it was just time to introduce everything and just keep it a bean. So on the 1-minute, this is where I was, I kind of got messed up here. I was still bearish. Now I'm just doing hindsight trading. You're probably wondering what this SMT is. This SMT was an SMT with YM. We go over here, we look at YM. What's this an SMT? Bro, why? Oh, I'm on the 5 minute. I'm tripping. Oh my god. I'm looking, I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Okay, hold on. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, this was an SMT with YM. We ended up creating a high, and then we ended up creating a higher high on YM, which created this whole sell-off. Which was the reason why we were honestly consolidating. We were in, wasn't the reason, but a good reason why price wasn't really rejecting off that fair value gap first time. This inversion or this BPR, whatever you want to call it, because it is an inversion off of another inversion. Um, but with that in my mind, I was like, okay, we have this SMT here. I'm kind of in a conflicting bias. I was like, okay, I want to wait for whatever that we have. I want to wait for whatever that we have. I ended up entering way too early. Um, this was more not really an aggressive entry. I just ended up entering way too early on this first trade right here. I ended up getting stopped because my stops, excuse me, my stop loss was super like it was kind of horrible to be honest. It wasn't really like too bad honestly. I just realized that, whoa, excuse me, I realized that this trade wasn't as good, so I literally just like closed my position. It was like I entered like I think like right here, and then I got stopped like right here. Oh, hello. I think I got stopped like somewhere like right here, and then like literally the same thing. My take profits were genuinely still the same, like as per everything. I just had a crazy stop. So that was my fault. I ended up getting stop rated super quickly, and I was like, I'm just gonna wait, see what happens, see what gets generated, and then we'll see if we even take a trade. And if I take a trade, it'll literally just be on um low risk, cause I'll just take one con and then just see what happens. And we ended up, excuse me, my bad. We ended up closing out of that gap, and then we ended up retracing back into this gap. And I was like, okay, well, let's see what wants to happen here. But whatever happens, I'm not really shaking anything. We ended up having an order block. I thought we had an SMT here. This SMT was just so bad. I'm not even. My head was just not in the game today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This loss was on me, to be honest. This was just crazy chop, and by the time this was crazy chop, I should have realized that I was not gonna trade because this was just disgusting. Um, but we ended up coming into we ended up generating what should we call it? We ended up generating equal low time frame highs. So with this in my mind, I was like, okay, this is honestly making my confirmation for longs even more better because why? We ended up closing off of this gap. We ended up retracing back into this gap. We didn't end up inversing it. We ended up closing multiple times in it, but we didn't end up inversing it. So this was technically still protected, honestly. And we ended up having this order block. We ended up retracing into this order block. We ended up retracing into this elder fair value gap. But we also ended up inversing this gap as well. Boom. Okay, we also ended up inversing this gap. We also ended up coming in and filling in this gap. And with the speed of displacement, I entered. With the speed and displacement, I entered. I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, do I think that this stop loss was honestly kind of bad? Yeah, I do think the stop loss was kind of bad because it was on the body. Honestly, it should have been on the wick, and I should have just trailed stops. However, I thought we had that SMT, and I ended up trailing my stops even more right here. So this honestly was the original risk to reward, but I ended up getting stopped out pretty quickly. Not pretty quickly, we were in profit, but like I said, price was just super duper choppy. We ended up sweeping out that low, and then right here. We ended up sweeping out that low, and then from there we ended up continuing higher. I thought we created another SMT, but price was just super wicky today, honestly, to say the least. Like that was pretty much it. With the speed of displacement and how we came into this order block and we ended up rejecting off of it, this is literally what I like to see. However, we did not have any 5-minute PD array that we ended up rejecting off of, which was honestly one of my mistakes. This was just choppy range. This was nothing. This was really just choppy range. We were rejecting off this bearish gap, not gap. We were rejecting off this bearish order block, and then as soon as I get stopped out, we ended up a couple minutes later, we ended up coming out and just closing out of this what we call it, closing out of this range, I guess you want to say, this order block. We ended up turning into a 5 minute breaker. Ended up obviously coming back down. I don't even know why we ended up coming back down. I'd like to say it was an SMT on YM. I doubt it though. I maybe some key level was hit. I'm not too sure. Huh? Wait. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, there was an SMT. Yup. That's probably yup. Yeah, there was an SMT. Um. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, how long is this video? This video is 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes of me just rambling, guys. I'm not. I need to get my head back in the freaking game. Genuinely, I need to get my head back in the game. Anyways, this wasn't a bad trade. Was the stop loss placement horrible? Yes. Could it have been better? Definitely. Was the trade idea valid? Precisely. What did we have? We had everything that I wanted for longs, bro. Genuinely, this was my last trade, and we ended up smashing everything in the books. We ended up having 1 minute order flow being respected still. We ended up coming into the equilibrium. We ended up coming into this gap. We ended up coming down into this order block again. We ended up having a speed of displacement to these equal highs. After we had this candle, like we didn't even like I didn't even enter off the candle closure. I entered off the speed of displacement after like we had like 2 seconds left. So when we had 2 seconds, we were already right here. And with this displacement, I was like, I'm getting in on this candle. And my entry was literally right here. Just with the speed of, well, I had a really good fill. With the speed of displacement, my entry was right here. And I was like, yup, this is gonna take me to these equal highs, and I know we're probably gonna come out for these equal highs. But my first take profit were these equal highs, and this was already what? This was already what 1.5 R in profit secured, and then my second draw would have been these 5 minute highs on market open. Where are we? These 5 minute highs on market open. Not market open, but 920. These 5 minute low resistance highs, and then from there, I would have wanted London session highs to be taken off, but obviously we didn't get that, so GG's. Um, but yeah, this was a valid trade in my opinion. Valid 1 minute entry. Unfortunately, we just got chopped out. Nothing really too much I could do about it, and we didn't reject off a 5 minute PD array, so that was another mistake. 5 minute PD array wasn't there. However, 1 minute order flow was presenting us with a good entry, honestly. And the stop loss placement was horrible. That's a thing that I just need to work on. If you guys go to like all my lost trades on my videos, you will see that one of the main reasons is genuinely because of my stop loss placement. My stop loss placement genuinely sucks. I need to keep fixing it. It's like some days I have it set, some days I don't. It's like it's really frustrating, but we're getting to it. I just gotta be patient. I just gotta keep trying, bro. Just keep trying. Just keep journaling, and I just gotta keep backtesting because it's like, damn, bro. I need to see like where, like I know how to place my stop. It's just I don't know. I don't know. So not I don't know. Maybe it's greed or maybe it's just cockiness. Maybe it's like arrogance because it's like obviously I know I could have a wide stop, and then from there I could trail my stops for it to actually be that good RR. And sometimes I'm like I don't forget. Sometimes I just forget that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. That's pretty much the trade recap for today. This week we're down. Honestly, we're down. Um, Tomorrow we're definitely gonna make it back. This was a pretty solid 1 minute entry. We just got chopped down in the slump. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's almost 20 minutes long. If you guys actually stay to listen to me, yeah, bro. Just shoot me a DM, bro. Genuinely. And if you guys genuinely like this content, because it's like, damn. But I enjoyed just yapping, just saying my brain thoughts, just brain dumping onto everybody. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna just post on TikTok today. I love you guys. Peace.